players gunning for him at QuakeCon. You know, so every match he goes into, people are going to be giving him their best. You know, that they know he's the champ, and they're going to give it all they got.
All right, well, it's time for the picks here now. So far, double Nyx picks right at the start here. So neither of these players really feeling their ability to try and work with this very squishy and oftentimes very risky champion. Rapha with a much more normal pick for his second one, going with the Sorley. We saw how well AZK was able to utilize it in the last alert, how effective that spit can be if you get yourself into a good position, and just how much damage it can do. And for his third and final champion, he ends up going over to the Scale Bearer. So quite a tanky loadout with the exception of the Nyx.
I was about to comment on that. You can see the difference between their two picks, and I think maybe Rapha's looking to counter that Nyx and even the Ranger a little bit, because they're smaller classes, right? You got Spit, you got Scale Bearer. Maybe he's looking to push him around a little bit with those tanks.
Yeah, maybe. So we're going to have to see. I think now, if I recall correctly, as far as this map is concerned, this is one of the newer maps coming back in, the Corrupted Keep here, and at least for this version of it. We did see Rapha being able to play this at least once so far when he was playing against the Joes a little bit earlier today. But for DaHanG, again, at least as far as this version is concerned, I'm not sure how much time he's had to actually hop around and see how this map plays out. So this will be interesting to see how things work out for him.
Yeah, those little things definitely make a difference, even just playing the map once compared to somebody not playing it at all. We'll see what happens, though.
So we are going to be jumping into the duel now as it's gone live, and a very aggressive DaHanG is continuing to try and chase down Rapha. Both have gone with their Nyx spawns right at the start of this map, and you could just see that DaHanG wanted that kill so early on. I don't know exactly how low he managed to bring Rapha to, but I'd have been close to want to chase the kill that aggressively.
Just trying to get on him early.
With both of these players starting off on Nyx as well, that is going to make the Mega Health and the full armor pickup that much more important too, as it gives you such a huge boost. Whereas otherwise, if you have no armor at all specifically, you can get just one shot by a rail if you find yourself in a poor position. So you need to be very, very careful about the way that plays out. And now, I believe both players are going to end up being equipped with that. Having to try and go for a fight. Rapha.
That was a mistake there by DaHanG. He had the timing on that earlier. I don't know why he wasn't back there to challenge.
So they're just going to end up having to trade out respectively in terms of what they get on their pickups. Neither player able to kind of chain together both, but this is going to be a nice exchange. DaHanG has his opponent in the air, but a great recovery from Rapha. It doesn't matter though, as both players end up going down, and now, oh no, they're going to end up spawning directly next to each other, getting right back into the fight. DaHanG tries to run away, but Rapha, with the Sorlag spit, is able to finish him off before he can successfully get out of there and back to health.
A little unlucky by DaHanG. He spawned, right next to Sorlag. Probably should have just tried to run as best as he could. Oh, nice recovery though. Came back with the DJ ability. Oh, this is going to get interesting right now.
Yeah. So brings it down to a 1v1, and oh no, here comes the charge. So he's got to be careful about this. He is getting the passive regen, which is keeping him in it a little bit, but ultimately he's going to pick up that kill at the end of it and claim round number 1 for himself.
Wow, that was a quick round. It just seemed like it just snowballed.
Once we got past the next phase of that one, things just went incredibly quickly, and we saw the last 3 to 4 kills happen within just a few seconds. 30-second to minute process overall there. So the action varied in terms of its length, but for that round, things went relatively quick. Both of these players are going to be back onto Nyx. However, to start this one off, a little bit of a rocket hit there from DaHanG as he tries to chase down Rapha and tries to read into his pathing here, but unfortunately he's not able to get a huge amount of damage. At the end of the day, it's relatively negligible, and Rapha can just get these small pickups. And
I don't know, DaHanG seems pretty familiar with the map. Maybe these guys have had a chance back in the practice area, because they seem like they know where they're going.
A little bit of room to play around here. I think we had Rapha commenting on it about this is a much smaller map compared to some of the other ones in the pool, and you can definitely see that here now. A lot of very tight corners, not a whole lot of open spaces to play with, so you got to be careful around your corners. We've already seen this a few times where players have just run into each other and have had to fight super close range as a result of that.
Yeah, I think maybe that's a little unfamiliarity, right? This is a new map. Sound cues, you're still getting adjusted where the sounds are coming from and what different angles you can be shot or what are the best avenues of attack. So I think you're seeing a little bit of that new map kind of jitters.
Both of these players getting hit relatively heavily in that last engagement, so they are going to, for the most part, probably end up avoiding each other here. Full armor pickup does go over to Rapha, and he has the timing too to swing over to the Mega Health when it spawns in about 10 seconds. But he just got a surprise read over here onto DaHanG, so we can lock him down. Knocks him down over onto the bone platform here. Now just needs to get a few more hits to finish him off. Great rocket read from DaHanG though, and it pushes Rapha back to a position where he really can't punish DaHanG all that much. But in the meantime, in trying to run away from that fight, he gave up the Mega Health spawn, and now that's gone over to Rapha again.
Yeah, he did some good job though. He dropped some rockets on him. Rapha's wasn't exactly in a great spot, but oh, what a rocket by Rapha right there.
So that's going to give Rapha the early advantage so far in this one. And now they jump right back into the fight. Rapha's going to try to continue this, see if he can get himself his second kill early on. And oh, almost a cheeky gauntlet kill comes out from DaHanG around the corner. But Rapha realizes that at the last second and steps back, saving his own life. And now he gets that Mega Health pickup, and he has to have his opponent so low. There you go, 2-0 right, actually no, 1-1 right at it, as we see these players trading blows from round to round.
Yeah, that was, again, it kind of snowballed on DaHanG there. Once he got that first frag, once Rapha got that first frag, DaHanG really didn't get a chance to recover. I gotta say, like, one of the things on a top level, you gotta do a duel, you gotta avoid spawn frags. You can't let that happen.
Yeah, we've seen so many of those. That's like what most of this map has been, unfortunately, so far, as DaHanG has been having a rough time avoiding that. Able to claim that first round, however, so still has that to work off of. Now, he just needs to make sure that they don't make that mistake again. And this time, he's taking a different route. Instead of going for the Nyx spawn to start off, he is going to take his Sorlag spawn right at the beginning instead.
Yeah, I think a little tankier, and because especially if he's unfamiliar, right? So you're going to run, like I said, running into him at an unknown time, it could really hurt you as a small class.
Good read, trying to play into that rocket there. Ends up firing a little bit too forward though, just hits himself with it. But still, double the health pool of his opponent overall, and then just trying to scavenge the armor to have a little bit more of that to work with so that he can fight an open battle against DaHanG here and end up with the better odds. Rapha has gone for that pickup instead of taking the usual route of going for the Nyx pick now. But with good control across the map, and now finally going to leap into the battle. And there's the spit. I don't think any of them actually hit directly head on. But should have gotten a little bit of the dot from it. Actually, no, none of that hit either. So he's got a low, but oh, just before he gets through the portal. Nicely shot from DaHanG. He is able to take down Rapha and eliminate his Sorlag.
Yeah, that was a very close fight. Rapha had the Mega Health time perfectly, so he picked it up in the middle of that fight. They traded some rockets. I don't think DaHanG was in very great shape after that fight, even though he landed that kill.
Well, now Rapha sneaking around here, gets some good damage going with the lightning gun. He's to bring his opponent down much lower than that, though. He's gonna knock off about half the HP on the Nyx as we're right back into that Nyx v Nyx fight. Rapha's gonna waste no time leaping around here too, trying to go for it. He's got the timing down perfectly. He's gonna have this armor spawn in a second. And now he's got both working in his favor too, so for DaHanG, he's gotta be really careful.
Yeah, he has proper separation. You kind of want that 15-ish seconds between both items. Like I said, it gives you time to move between them. And if you need to take a longer route to maybe defend it and attack, it gives you that chance to do that.
He manages to land a pretty decent hit from the rocket on Rapha, but however, Rapha was still able to move in and get himself the health pickup. So now he's trying to steal the armor at the very least, but just hiding down here, trying to get the stopwatch pickup is just not going to work. And he can't take that much damage on this character. And ultimately, he is just going to get pushed out from that position, and Rapha...
Yeah, again, a little error there, miscalculation by DaHanG, in my opinion. I mean, he didn't really have to stay and fight for that. He should have just been looking to land a rocket or something, put some damage on him while he picked up the armor and get out of there, have some kind of exit plan.
Rapha moving quickly, trying to go for these pickups here now as he arms him up a little bit better. Does not want to give DaHanG the advantage anymore here. 2 minutes remaining as well, so this next kill, if they continue to play as passively as they are now, this next kill could prove to be incredibly crucial. Rapha's got himself the tank though, so he's got to want to go for this fight, but with how small the map, he's got to be really careful about the way he moves around it, as he's going to give away his position so easily with even the slightest amount of noise. There we go, finds himself, puts DaHanG, I should say, into a pretty poor position there, bringing him down to about 40 HP. Tries to trick with the Dire, but I believe Rapha should have been able to read into the noise and now for his opponent properly. He's armed up yet again, and now right into an open fight. Beautifully shot. Rapha dodges that first rocket and then lines up an immediate kill for the second one. So now he takes the champion advantage here going into DaHanG's last champ.
Yep, DaHanG's in a bad spot now. Time's running out. He's got to really push.
And he just immediately pops the dual wield, as you saw there, tries to take that fight, but he can't get it done. So Rapha is going to be able to claim that third and final round, and he'll win the map 2-1.
Well played, well played. I thought DaHanG kind of got a little too aggressive there at times. Could have maybe played a little more passive, as we were talking about. There were some times, like especially that last heavy arms, like I'm like agreeing, like wow, that's just really smart. And other times it's like he just surprises me with something he does, and I'm just, like I didn't even see that coming. And it was like wow, that was a brilliant move.
Absolutely. Well, it's looking like we are going into it now, so we'll have the champion selection coming back out as DaHanG goes right back to the Knicks for that first pick, but also a Slash pick coming in there too now. Rapha. Full roster ends up working its way in for DaHanG there. Ends up with a pretty balanced roster, I would say, overall here.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a pretty standard pick that he went with. Maybe Ranger instead of Visor. You could interchange. But yeah, that's definitely a pretty standard pick that I've seen in some duels. You could argue you could maybe pick Sorlag instead of Scale Bearer, but like I said, the combo of a light, medium, and heavy champion is pretty good.
Yeah. Especially with the way that the last map played out there, with these players ending up kind of right next to each other a lot of the time. That's where maybe that Scale Bearer pick is going to be just right. Different map now, of course, but if they end up kind of right up in each other's faces more, then the Scale Bearer can show up and do a nice little boost of damage if he's able to bring the engagement that close for a second time and then just rush into his opponent.
Absolutely, or even use it to escape from a spawn frag. I mean, that's like I said, the best players in duel, you'll notice that it's very difficult, one, to get that first initial kill, but spawn fragging them usually is very difficult. So we'll see how it goes here.
Yeah, and now for Rapha, he is going to be starting off over here on a champion that we haven't seen a whole lot of today, but the battle already getting started, and well, for DaHanG, he almost finds himself dead right at the beginning of that map there. Puts himself directly into a pretty poor position there. But for Rapha here, you can see he's able to glide around the map a lot more smoothly, and that is because of the passive ability on Slash, which lets him crouch, but while crouching, he still keeps his full speed. However, he can take much tighter corners than if he were playing any other champion here and having to do it normally, which would slow him down by quite a bit, but he doesn't take that penalty when he crouches and uses the slide ability that Slash has.
Now, if you notice right there, he went challenged and tried to take a peek shot at Mega Health. The heavy armor was also up. He did that for purpose to split, again, when I was talking about splitting the times between the two items. And now, if he can secure a kill, so he's going to go for that Mega Health. If DaHanG doesn't know he delayed that at all, he might be in a problem here. We might go check for the armor. See, he got the Mega Health. He's coming back.
So they're trying to take this fight right up as well. I'm not sure if DaHanG's even ready for this one now. Thankfully, he's lined up, a beautifully placed rail shot. Gets himself that combo kill. The rockets to propel the damage, and now he's going to try to spawn kill as well. Moving forward, locking his opponent down into a corner, but the lightning gun is actually doing quite a bit to him, and it pushes him back over towards the spawn of the full armor.
Yeah, well-placed rocket as Rapha tried to push, knocked him off the ledge, and then follow-up rail, and he's done.
Oh, another nice rail shot. Very long range, too. Didn't have to scope in for that one, so good early shots coming out from DaHanG. Once again, brings his opponent down a little bit lower. Reading into it very well, too. He's going to get this pickup and then beautifully lines up the shot. Gets a second one, too. Massive damage going over onto that visor, and he's only got 11 HP left after that one now.
Yeah, he's going a little DaHanG on him like we saw earlier in some of those team matches. He's not missing.
So DaHanG definitely showing up for this second map now and has himself a nice advantage to play off of here, but Rapha's still going to look to recover, playing very cautiously right now around the map. And just trying to read into all the moves from DaHanG, but with DaHanG having this much of a boost to both his health pool and his armor, he can take these fights without having to worry about it too much. He did just lose the full health pickup, so now he's got to be a bit careful because Rapha's even the scales a little bit here, but those rockets are doing so much damage. He's got to be careful about this one. He's going to get locked down on these steps, and there we go. Again, finds himself outmatched at the hands of DaHanG, who's going to be able to find that second frag.
Bad positioning there, and that certainly cost him. I thought maybe I know he didn't want to get hit with that rocket that he was shooting straight down towards the doorway, but he might have had to just accept that he's going to eat that or he's going to die.
So, taking a little bit of a hit here, but he's down on the jump, and there's another rail shot. Rapha not even seeming to pay attention to that one as he just gets hit by it head on. So that's quite a bit of health that he's going to lose in the process, and now Moving back in, trying to get back control of the spawn there. He did miss the Dire Orb push as he tried to go back into the hallway with it, and he succeeded in kind of escaping. So now gets himself into a somewhat better position, but going up is so dangerous now, especially with DaHanG having his rail capabilities currently. Moves in and basically just gets a free hit as Rapha tries to go up the jump pad.
Making a little miscalculation there, and earlier on when DaHanG dropped down, I think he really fooled Rapha there because he used the double jump ability to stop going all the way up the pad, which threw Rapha's timing off. He thought he had time to make it all the way down that tunnel, and that's why he got shot in the back.
Lines up another shot again. This time, though, it's a little bit off the mark, so it is going to miss. Again, Rapha is able to keep himself in this fight, but not for much longer. Rapha needs to start looking for some kills as time is becoming another factor here, with DaHanG still on his first champion. Rapha needs to recover.
He definitely needs to get a kill here soon. Try to get a spawn frag to even it up before sudden death. That's what he should be looking for.
DaHanG gonna be found down below here. Has to pop the stuff. DaHanG just playing with the timer as well, as he knows he has that in his advantage, so he's gonna try to make a run for it, keeping himself in a good position. Only really gonna take a fight, I imagine, at this point in the match if he absolutely has to. So
yeah, absolutely. Right now you have a 2-0 lead, 40 seconds left. You're playing defensive.
Just gonna sit back nice and patiently wait for Rapha to make a mistake and push into him where he can finalize on that third kill. Rapha almost succeeds in picking up the kill, but DaHanG's gotta get running again, but he can't escape, and Rapha finally claims a first kill in this round, but now he's only got 26 seconds to get another one.
This is where this is intense right now. That was a very aggressive move by him to get that frag, and now all he needs is one more, and we're in sudden death.
Rapha going to continue to push forward. He knows he has him close, but he read into it incorrectly. Didn't spawn him up on top, so he's going to continue to go back. He's locked onto him now, so he's going to go for this fight right up into his face. Tries to the Dire Orb to continue to force the fight. So low, but he gets that kill. And now bring it down to a 1v1 with only 4 seconds left.
Wow, what an exciting match. This is intense. Here we go. Sudden death. I mean, this is as good as it gets right now in Quake.
Rapha had to make that play, no choice but to continue fighting for it, and it just barely works out in his favor as he forces it down to the 1v1. So now we go to sudden death. The next kill will win the round.
Little cat and mouse going on right now.
Rapha so cautiously lines it up. Both hits connect. Both players are going to back away, giving their opponent room to recover from those rails.
Yeah, both players, I would expect, bad position down there.
Oh no, DaHanG is in such a poor spot right now. 66 HP, he's trying to sit back and wait for that armor to come back in, but ultimately, Rapha will win out there, and he'll take control of round 1.
What a great round that was. That was an awesome round. That was a pleasure to watch.
Another amazing recovery from one of our players too. Rapha coming from the back, he was down 1v3, managed to pick up a kill at 30 seconds, and then just a few moments later, managed to pick up another one with only 4 seconds remaining. We didn't get that kill. Round would have ended in DaHanG's favor, but he brought it down to the 1v1, got it to sudden death, and finished off that last frag.
Nerves of steel, man. Let me tell you, the way he came back and got that last kill to force the sudden death was amazing.
Nicely loves to hang out around this bridge by the rocket spawn.
Yeah, it's certainly a good area to be in because you can kind of watch that mega heavy armor, and you can also take shots towards the rail.
Smack over here onto the slash now. He's going to continue to wrap around the map here to try to get good control over the spawns. He did miss his opponent passing him a second ago, so we might find it surprising that DaHanG is already going to be waiting down here. Steals the full armor pickup and dodges that rail shot. How is DaHanG going to take this though? Is he going to want to the direct engagement now, or try to wait this out a little bit? It seems like he's taking a more passive route. Tries to fight out against Rapha down below here inside of the pillar room, but Rapha's not too keen on taking that battle himself, it seems. So now he's going to slide back in. A nice slide indeed as he gets some good damage. The problem is, though, is he puts himself down below, so he has to use the trail just to get out and stay alive.
He was fortunate to get out of that situation.
Works out though as DaHanG does kind of bite into it, so DaHanG ends up backing up, not necessarily expecting to find Rapha right up on top here. Just thinking he was going to run the gauntlet down from below. But ultimately, DaHanG still with great control over this matchup so far, gets himself the armor pickup. The Mega Hell's about to spawn in just a few moments, and he just pushed Rapha back down. He's got to continue hopping though. The problem is going to take him in a direct fight. He doesn't have a lot of HP to work with, but still gets that kill. And now gets himself a great advantage to play off of here in round 2.
I was about to say he was a little unlucky there. You know, he came up on Rapha from behind with his ability, and Rapha had no clue he was there, but he just happened to drop down out of his view. But he still took advantage of that high ground and got the kill.
So DaHanG continuing to fight off here. Not a lot of shots hitting head on though, unfortunately, so not a massive amount of damage being done. He's forced to give up control of the full armor spawn, and that's going to go into the hands of Rapha as he's now on to his second champion. The visor pickup from him, And this is where it becomes a little bit more difficult for DaHanG, as Visor is going to have the capability to read into his position every time he uses his active ability. He gets that free, basically just the wall hack there that he's able to use, and he used it perfectly there to read into his opponent and now tie it back up at 2v2, where we have a Visor v Visor matchup.
That was very close fight right there. DaHanG had nice position with Nick's ability, but you know, it looked like Rapha just had a little more stack than needed. That was the difference.
Rapha just reads into this nice play here, catches his opponent trying to work his way back in from those understeps. Should pick him up, and now, oh, he hesitated there. Had himself almost a perfect open opportunity to hit a rail shot, but ended up missing it. And now is actually going to use the wall hack to try and read into when he goes for those peaks. Hits that one shot, but takes a little bit of damage in his own regard, and I was really not going to be too keen on actually chasing down DaHanG here, so just goes back over to the full armor spawn. Wait for that to roll up here in just a few seconds. Actually, he goes outside, so he may not be aware of the timer just yet. It's about to come back in. He's going to try to aggressively chase and see if he can knock him out, cornering him here. Great damage being done by DaHanG. Just can't complete the kill. It's looking like Rapha's going to choose to chase it, and it was a smart decision as well. DaHanG not even paying attention, so Rapha just peeks right in and gets a free rail shot off.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting that aggressive maneuver. He knew the mega health was up on the other side. I think he made an assumption that Rapha was just running to the other side of the map to grab it.
So now Rapha's got himself a nice little advantage to play off of here. Fully boosted health, full armor. Not going to have the boosted armor just yet as he missed that pickup, but hits a nice rock before going in, and he's able to follow through and finish off DaHanG.
That's just great prediction. That's just experience. Like he just made a read and made a judgment call on where he was going, and he was 100% right.
So the great read from Rapha, gets himself the advantage and the ability to try and close out on this map in a 2-0 fashion here. He's going to want to play it back a little bit here since he does have all that boosted HP and armor to play off of here. Not wanting to really waste it on just getting himself into the engagement. He needs that for the actual fight. So just continues to hang back, play it slowly. He's going to let DaHanG play into him, as he knows he has the advantage to work off of now with the time getting low.
Yeah, Rapha has the run of the map right now. He's playing really slick. Seems like he's kind of settled in right now.
Rapha basically just turning himself up here now. So spot the push from DaHanG up on top, leading up to the rail there. Gonna be unsuccessful in connecting the actual rocket to stop him from pushing towards it. But now, 20 seconds left here. DaHanG has to take this battle, and Rapha knows that he's got him low, though. He's got him with the rocket chain, but that last one misses. So now he has to leap into the unknown, where he is going to go down, and Rapha claims this map 2-0 as well.
That was a good